From News 19, I'm meteorologist Daniel Bonds. We're still tracking hurricane. One more time, 3, 2, 1. From News 19, I'm meteorologist Daniel Bonds. We're still tracking Hurricane Ian. For us here across the Midlands, still a lot of uncertainty as to exactly what we'll see. Right now, it looks like odds are increasing. We will see some heavy downpours, especially overnight Thursday into parts of Friday and maybe even into early Saturday. Cooler temperatures too are expected. We'll put question marks behind the strong winds and or severe weather. So still some uncertainty as to what we'll see here in the Midlands, but what is certain is Ian is getting better developed. Here's a tropical satellite image as it continues to gain some strength. Hurricane centers increased the watches and warnings as well. Tropical storm watches for a large portion of the western Florida coast. Also a hurricane watch now in effect for parts of the coast as well. And a storm surge watch. So Florida right now under the gun from Hurricane Ian. Here's the 11 a.m. advisory. Winds of 80 miles per hour, stronger gusts moving towards the northwest at 13 miles per hour. It does have gusts of about 100 miles per hour, and it's going to continue to move generally towards the north and weaken as it moves towards the north. And you'll notice for us here in South Carolina, it would be a tropical depression, remnant low at this point. This would be early Saturday morning, and if it's in this area, we're still expecting a good bit of rain, so that rain may kind of stick around as we go into at least the first half of the weekend. Here are the spaghetti models for it. Pretty good consensus as we get to about, I'll say about Thursday or so, and then things kind of widen out a little bit. So again, there is still some uncertainty as to what we may see here in the Midlands. But here are the most likely times of arrival for hurricane force winds. Hurricane force winds possible, obviously, for a good portion of Florida. Tropical storm force winds a little bit wider, obviously, and that does include at least parts of South Carolina as well. But a low chance for tropical storm force winds for us here in the Midlands. Here are the percentages if you like those, but a low chance for tropical storm force winds for us. Here is the American model. Again, this is not a forecast, not an official forecast. This is just one of the global models. This is Thursday evening. Here comes Hurricane Ian, and all that moisture kind of flowing in off the Atlantic. So the big deal for us probably, at least right now, is going to be those heavy downpours. We do expect a lot of rain kind of moving in off the Atlantic with that onshore flow. This is a European model for Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock. There was Ian there and all that moisture kind of moving into the Midlands. So heavy downpours. Here is our in-house forecast model. It doesn't quite go out to Friday, but it does go out to late Wednesday, and I think it's doing a pretty good job. It shows a little bit of a different scenario of it kind of making a landfall, it looks like, near Tampa. So a little bit of a different scenario. We'll kind of have to wait and see which one of these perform the best. But notice it goes all the way out to Wednesday, later in the day on Wednesday, making a landfall later Wednesday. But again, all that moisture is going to be moving into the Palmetto State. So for us here across the Midlands, anywhere from about 3 to 4 inches of rain according to the Weather Prediction Center. We could get some areas get a little bit more. That's certainly always the case. American model showing about 2.5 to 3 inches of rain for us here in the Midlands. Heavier amounts in the upstate and heavier amounts along the coast. European models kind of back down on the rain chances, or the amounts I should say, showing about 2 inches across the Midlands. But again, things can change as the track and or intensity changes with that particular storm. Our average, at least at this point through hurricane season, we'd expect 10 named storms, 4 hurricanes, 2 major hurricanes. So far we've had 9, 4, and 1, although we do expect Ian to become a major hurricane before it's all said and done. Currently Category 1 storm, but the forecast is for it to rapidly intensify and become a major hurricane in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. Obviously, we'll continue to track Ian as it moves a little bit closer to making a landfall later this week.